We are so excited you joined us today. Welcome to worship.
Join us in a worship song.
In my wrestling and in my doubts, in my failures, you won't walk out. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. In the silence, you won't let go. In the questions, your truth will hold. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore. I won't fear what tomorrow brings. With each morning I'll rise and sing. My God's love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore. Far before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. Far before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. Hey, far before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. Far before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore.
While I'm pouring this water into this bowl, just like a waterfall, let's see if you can recite this month's memory verse. Ready, set, go. Try to say the words on the screen as I'm making a waterfall. Were you able to do it? Hopefully by the end of the month, you will memorize that verse and know it in your heart.
Let's find out what today's big idea is.
Welcome back to our island paradise here at St. Tim's. I am so happy you joined me for this Sunday. Today, in our worship, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite creations from God, and that is animals. Who loves animals? What's your favorite animal? Can you tell me? Last week, we learned what happened when Adam and Eve disobeyed God. As time went on, other people disobeyed God, and eventually a huge flood came to earth. But God showed mercy to a man named Noah. God saved him and his family because Noah loved God.
Let's see what our friends on Grow TV have to say.
Hi there, old chicken nuggets. It's me, Carl.
And I'm Cassie.
And welcome to Grow TV.
Welcome to Grow TV. Introducing your host, Carl. And your co-host, Cassie. Where we learn, where we grow, and we talk about Jesus. Once again, welcome to Grow TV.
Hey, Cassie.
Hey, Carl.
What are you up to?
Just sitting here with you, ready to talk about the Bible and stuff.
Cool. All right.
Okay, do you want me to ask what you've been up to?
Thought you'd never ask. Check this out.
Whoa, are those yours?
Well, they are now.
What do you mean?
They are now. I've been collecting them for the past week.
Collecting cookies? From where?
Well, get this. Every day when I walk out past the desk out front, there's a cookie sitting there, just waiting to be eaten. So I take it.
You take it every day?
Yeah, that's the crazy part. Every day I walk by his desk, there's a cookie, and I take it. Then boom, the next morning, there's a cookie. It's like magic. It's like the cookies are being sent from heaven as a gift from God.
Oh no.
What? What's wrong? Did I say something wrong?
Well, no.
What do you mean no? Is there something in my teeth?
No.
Do I stink?
Nope.
Do you stink?
What? No.
Then what is it?
Well, those magic cookies you've been taking, they belong to Kinsey. She's the receptionist.
No way! They've just been sitting there every day on the...
Desk? Where people sit and work?
No. That's impossible.
Really? Have you talked to Kinsey lately?
Sure. Not for the past few days, though. Every time I see her, she seems to be really upset because someone in the office keeps taking her snacks.
What kind of snacks?
I think she said cookies. It's a terrible thing. Who would be that mean to steal someone's cookies? Especially in the office. The nerve! To walk up to someone's desk and just steal their cookie? Doesn't make any sense. Wait.
There it is.
Oh no.
Yep.
I've done something terrible.
Yep.
Cassie, I don't think you understand. Those magic cookies weren't actually magic.
You don't say.
I've been taking Kenzie's cookies. It all makes sense now. Oh no.
It's alright. I'm sure she'll understand.
I don't think so. She won't. This is terrible. What have I done?
It's just a misunderstanding. It's really not a big deal.
Not a big deal. I've been stealing. You hear that? Stealing.
I know, Carl, but it's gonna be alright.
No, it won't. I'll have to leave. Sell everything I have and move to a deserted island. I'll have to change my name to something like Theodore Monocle and talk like this. That's it. Oh man. What about God?
What about God?
Well, I've been stealing. The Bible says that stealing is a sin. And I've been stealing. Which is a sin.
Alright, Carl, you need to calm down. You need to just relax for a second.
I am calm. Man, I'm feeling kind of lightheaded.
Carl, are you okay?
I think so. I don't feel so good though. I think I'm in big trouble, Cassie.
I understand, but you really need to not worry. You know why?
Why? Because this is all a dream?
No, but the God we serve is a God of mercy. And mercy is forgiving someone even though they've done something wrong and may not deserve forgiveness. Do you remember Noah?
Yeah, the guy with the big boat. Pretty cool story.
Yep, Noah and his family were cooped up on that big boat with all the animals for 40 days and 40 nights. But after the water went back down and the flood was over, God told Noah some pretty cool things.
What did God tell him?
God said there wouldn't be a flood like that ever again. God promised to show humans mercy, and He gave us a way to remember that. Have you ever seen a rainbow, Carl?
Does a chicken wish it could fly? Of course I have. You're telling me a rainbow is like some sort of secret code promise?
You could look at it that way. God sent us a rainbow to remind us of a promise, that God would love us and show us mercy.
God promised us mercy. That's pretty cool.
That is cool. It's also our big idea. Today's big idea is God promised us mercy.
So on the count of 3, let's all say it together. Ready?
Ready?
1,
2,
3. God promised us mercy! Woohoo! All right, everyone. That's pretty cool. Mercy. I'm so glad we learned about no today. But now I gotta go tell Kinsey that I'm the one that was taking her cookies. What?
I may have already told her.
Carl! Oh, mercy. See you next week.
Thank you for watching, and tune in next week for a new episode of Pro TV.
God told Noah to collect all of the animals and his family on a huge boat, an ark, so they could ride out the flood. Can you imagine how much rain there must have been after 40 days and 40 nights of straight raining? I can't. Noah and his family and the animals had been on the ark for a very long time before they were able to set foot on dry land again. One day, Noah sent out a dove from the ark to see if there was dry land anywhere. The dove flew around for a while, but then came back with an olive branch in its beak. Noah was so happy because the olive branch was a sign of land. The dove had found dry land. Then everyone came out of the ark, Noah and his family, as well as the animals of the earth. Noah made an altar to thank God for saving them. But God did an even better thing. Do you remember what it was? God sent a rainbow. God told Noah the rainbow is a reminder of the mercy God shows and that God would never flood the earth ever again. God has yet to go back on his promise and continues to show us the rainbow after it rains. In your Sunday Funday bags, there is something called a kaleidoscope. It's this cylinder-looking object. Now, a kaleidoscope has this glass at the end that helps show different amounts of colors when you're looking at an object. To help remind us of the rainbow that God has given to us, I want you to draw a rainbow on your paper with crayons. Let's go over the rainbow colors. What is it? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Draw all types of colors on your paper. And once you've finished, look at your paper through the kaleidoscope and you will see all of the colors projected, just like a rainbow. Today's big idea is that God promises us mercy. Even when we mess up, he still loves us and takes mercy on us by forgiving us. We usually see rainbows after it rains, like after a big storm. Maybe you've seen one before. The water in the raindrops or clouds are needed for light to be reflected and scatter through them, just like our kaleidoscope or a prism. Just like a rainbow follows a big, scary storm, God reminds us of the promise by showing us forgiveness and compassion even when we don't obey him. A rainbow reminds us that God promises us mercy. Let's thank God for showing us mercy anytime we look at a cool rainbow. Let's listen to this verse that reminds us how merciful God truly is.
Our psalm is Psalm 85, verses 8 through 13. I will listen to what God the Lord will say. He promises peace to his people, his saints, but let them not return to folly. Surely his salvation is near to those who fear him, that his glory may dwell in our land. Love and faithfulness meet together. Righteousness and peace kiss each other. Faithfulness springs forth from the earth, and righteousness looks down from heaven. The Lord will indeed give what is good, and our land will yield its harvest. Righteousness goes before him and prepares the way for his steps.
Only a God who is full of things like love, faithfulness, righteousness, peace, and more would be willing to show mercy to people who keep disobeying him. When we see a rainbow, we are reminded God promised us mercy. But there is another side to mercy too. If God promised us mercy, God also promised mercy to other people. That means we are expected to show mercy to those who hurt us. When we show mercy, we forgive others for the hurtful things they may have said or done. Can you think of anyone who you can show mercy to today? Maybe you were mad at a friend. Maybe you said something mean to your brother or sister. How can you show mercy to them today? In your Sunday Funday bag, there is a very delicious snack called Skittles. And Skittles are the colors of the rainbow. In your bag, there is a special piece of paper. And on each color, it's called Rainbow Prayers. Each color tells you to pray for something different. So when you're enjoying your snack of Skittles and tasting the rainbow, make sure you look at your paper and say the prayer that goes with the color. If you pull a green, say that prayer. If you pull a red, say that prayer. It'll make eating Skittles that much more delicious. For our game today, we're playing a game you have most likely played in your past, called charades. Now there's a little twist to this charades game because you're gonna act out different animals, like the animals on the ark. So write down your favorite animals. Have everyone from your family write down your favorite animal. It could be a fish, an elephant, a lobster, a parrot, an iguana, a snake, a worm, and put them into a bucket or bag where no one else can see them. You're gonna take turns drawing the animal and act it out, and your family has to guess, what animal are you?
Well, good morning, St. Tim's kids. It's Mr. Tony and
Miss Leslie.
back to do another craft with you this week. This week it's going to be rainbow scratch art. And if you guys have done scratch art before, I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun. If not, you're going to even have more fun because the first time doing this, it's amazing. So today our craft has to do with the story of Noah and the rainbow. And just starting off with the piece of scratch art, if you haven't seen what the paper looks like, it's dark. It starts off very black. And basically, that's what you have when you have no light. It's all darkness. And so you can think of God's love and forgiveness as that light. We need his light to show us the way. And the scratch art is going to change later to show what God's light will actually do to make this a really beautiful picture. So if you remember back to Noah, and you've heard the story, this is one of all our favorite stories, where Noah and his family are actually rescued by God. They're chosen when God floods the earth to be saved. And God was showing his mercy to that family and all the animals, and they spent a lot of time on that ark. And here we are in this gorgeous, beautiful paradise here at St. Tim's Paradise and St. Tim's Island. But they probably had it really rough and scary being in the dark for so long, so many days, and hoping, what's coming next. They always prayed to God that God would save them. They were faithful. Noah was a very, very faithful man, if you remember. And so when the storm had ended and the seas receded and they saw land again, when they sent the dove out, and actually, I guess the good sign is some of the birds didn't even come back. That meant they found land. But one of the birds, the dove, brought back an olive branch, and that was a sign that land was soon to be found. And one of the bigger signs, God's big promise to all of us, was the rainbow. And if you remember, that was the sign that God would never flood the earth again, and he was going to show us mercy. So there's times when we feel dark, when we are straying from God, not doing what's right, and that can be very dark. But God's here to help turn us back onto the right path, and that will bring the light and shine some really beautiful things out in the world that God's created for us. So today the craft is going to start with this blank piece of scratch art paper. And I think in the kit that Miss Emily sent home, you're going to be getting a real cute card like this that you can probably frame. We're going to work with that. Plus a stylus or a piece of wood, a toothpick you might have in your kit. You can use a paper clip. If you like doing skewers or kebabs, you can use this. Be careful of the pointy end, but we're going to show you in a little bit how to transform the darkness into something very bright. So as an example, we went ahead and made one ahead of time. And if you can see this, we have a heart with "God loves me." And that's one of the greatest messages. God's promise of mercy is that he loves me, and he loves you and all of us. And we drew some art that represents some of the beauty and nature and things that God has created. The other thing, now again, you don't have to be the greatest artist in the world. This won't draw itself, but you can have a lot of fun creating things. If you're not a great drawer, you can print out something or take something from a coloring book, a stencil of sorts, and one of the nice things is you can put this right over the top of your art. You'd have to do it smaller, of course, to fit on this. And you can trace that nice and hard with a pen, and that'll leave a nice set of indents on your craft paper. And then you'll be able to take the stick and scratch off the darkness and create the light. So as an example, the one with this rainbow, it's not very colorful right here. God keeps his promises. When we traced it onto here, it turned out looking like this. So again, you don't have to be the greatest drawer. You can trace, do whatever you have little stencils, and you can have a lot of fun. What we really hope is when you're all done with this, if you create a craft, we'd love it if you work with your mom or dad or yourself, if you know how to take a picture of what you created and send it to Miss Emily. We would love to see it, and we're really looking forward to seeing what you do, how creative you can be, and how much fun you have with this.
Hey Polly, what's a parrot's favorite game? Hide and speak.